No nonsense, know how, and this is going to be a quick video talking about the pull start that I added to my Rhino 660. Now, normally in place of this is a fan that I believe sucks air in here and then blows it toward the back of the UTV, toward the brakes and the exhaust, keep things cool back there. So what you do is remove this cover, all 10mm screws, and then two 10 mils on the fans, and you remove the plastic cover behind that. Now you also remove the 10mm bolt from this collar, and you slide this out. And you have to get a recoil pulley from a Grizzly 660. I got one on eBay for like 10 bucks, bunch of them on there. And then you can hop on Amazon and pick up an aftermarket recoil for around 35 or 40 bucks. Now, this bolts directly onto the stator cover with 4 screws, M6 by 1 thread, 10mm. And it does sit flush all the way around, although there was a gap up here, so I just put some silicone, that way mud and debris doesn't go in there. So the big question and the point of this video is, how well does it work? Let me fire it up for you. All right, now this was running about an hour and a half ago, so it's not dead cold. Well, it's pretty cold, but it's not ice cold. Turn your ignition switch on, and when you're pulling this, you don't want to just go yanking it right away. What you do is you pull it all the way until you can't pull anymore, and you stop right there. Put it all the way back in and give it one good pull. With both hands, I find if you put your foot in here and one out, of course you got to take your passenger seat off, but boom, fires right up. Let's do that one more time. Again, you pull, all right, so it's already where it's on the compression stroke now. So I'll give it one pull, let's go one hand. Now, one hand's a little tough. Let's try one more. Oh, I didn't have the ignition switch on, oops. Here we go, one hand. Boom, so that's it, baby. Now, an alternative to doing that is if you just had a weak battery that didn't have enough juice to crank over that high compression 660, you could reach your foot over here, hold the brake, and then just give a little starter assist with this. So like, crank it over and pull at the same time. And there you go. So if you have a weak battery, that works good. Another question I have is, what if the battery's completely dead or missing? Will it still start? My guess is probably not. It needs the 12 volts for ignition, but let's try it anyway and see what happens. Okay, battery's disconnected, ignition on. My guess is not gonna run, like I already said. This ain't no ATC 200S, but let's give it a go. Look at that, it does run. Oh, that's awesome. See if it'll rev up. That is so awesome to see. So unlike a lot of ATVs, this does not need the battery to run. I had that completely disconnected, which is amazing to see. So I think everybody that owns one of these Rhinos should add a recoil. Now, if you're not comfortable ditching the Yamaha fan and you want to keep that intact, because maybe Yamaha put it on there for a reason, right? You can just go and order yourself a recoil and that pulley that I showed you. Keep it in your glove box or in a toolkit along with some tools to switch it over. If you own one of these, that is a 100% necessary mod, in my opinion. Dead battery, shorted out battery, whatever the case, you're still going to be able to get this turd down the road. Anyway, that answers all my questions. Hopefully it was helpful. Drop it a big thumbs up if it did. Cheers to you. And check out the other Yamaha Rhino videos that I plugged in along top if you want some more info on these. Thanks, guys. See you in the next one. And I'm back. Just a few final thoughts here on this. I was talking to my buddy, and he was saying this might be part of the cooling system for the belt drive. So I'm thinking maybe I was missing an elbow or something, but after doing further research, no. This is specifically designed for cooling the exhaust and maybe the brakes back there too. So 100% not needed in my opinion, but you know, if you feel better leaving it on there, go ahead. I also see it as a problem because if you go in deep water, it has that fan in there and mud and water's going to be churning inside of here, stripping you of all your power. So as far as the cooling system on the belt drive, the intake for that is located right here, gets sucked in down on the back, goes through, and then comes back out the front right here and exits over top the exhaust. So you still are getting exhaust cooling, you know, from air that's been heated up from the belt already, but obviously it's not going to be that hot. So yeah, just for anybody who was skeptical watching this video thinking this guy's a nutcase ripping off parts, I say it's not needed, but I will let you know in the comments at a later time if I end up blowing my motor. For now, I'm going to say that I enjoy having the pull start.